Show.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to the NBA on 2K Sports. Excited, thrilled to be here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. I'm so lucky. And coming right up, we'll see the Oklahoma City Thunder playing against the Denver Nuggets. Looking at Denver, this is a big game coming up for them. They've dropped their first 2 games, and the last thing they want to do is open the season 0-3. That is not the way to tip things off. We will be watching Russell Westbrook in this one, and we hear from so many players and coaches who all say Westbrook has the mindset of the greats. What does that mean to you, Shaq?
You know, he plays with the swagger and the confidence. You know, a lot of guys in the league do not possess that. And he's a complete alpha player on the court. He's a big guy, a dominant big guy in a little man's body.
No, he's a dominant little guy with a big heart. So I would say, I don't like to be a big man. I tell you what he does. His athleticism is unparalleled by anybody in the league. So what happens is you always have to put your bigger guard on him, and that changes the mismatches all over the court.
Let us get it down to Kevin Harlan as tip-off approaches.
Stop rephrasing my phrase.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of praise.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for this NBA presentation. Along with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. Well, for the Oklahoma City Thunder, they won their last contest, that game against the Magic in Orlando.
And believe it or not, it wasn't the stars that led the charge for them in that win. It was about the role players. I mean, the guys who they don't usually count on for the lion's share of their points came through.
Guys, simply a complete team performance, and road wins where everybody contributes really can galvanize a team and bring it together.
Now let's take a look at the Nuggets opening lineup. Chandler and Fareed are at the forward spots. Foyle is out there with Moutier, and it's Hickson in at the 5 spot. Now here's Moutier. Let's go. It's tipped. Like it's 6. The Nuggets need to get a shot off here. And here's Chandler from the arc, and he gets it to go.
And that's good stuff from him. Nice touch.
On defense, the Nuggets coming off that loss against the Timberwolves.
And in that game, guys, their three-point shooting really was their own worst enemy. Even when they got the open looks, they just had an inability to knock them down.
And guys, you've seen it happen to every team. You have to be a threat from beyond the arc nowadays, and if your team goes cold, it really can sabotage your game.
Now here's Moutier following the miss by Russell Westbrook. Fareed setting the pick for Moutier, expanding his range. The Thunder pull it in.
And guys, it's easy to forget sometimes just how young Kevin Durant still is. I mean, last season, he became the second youngest player to get to 15,000 points.
Great open look there. Westbrook's got 5 now. Just over a minute and a half played here in this one. Now let's find out what head coach Mike Malone had to say to Doris Burke. Doris?
Defending Kevin Durant is one of their focal points in this matchup. He told me that Durant gives defenders problems because he can pull up and shoot at any time from any distance. He said usually you can try and funnel and trap a player, but with Kevin, there isn't really a way to force him out of his range.
And thanks for that story, Doris.
And the offense, 3 of 4, a solid start for this game.
Moutier with the ball. Out to the wing. Here's Hickson. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. And just as J.J. Hickson seemed to be finding some rhythm in his career, Clark, last season happened. His production dropped like a rock.
Yeah, Kevin, after 2 straight years where he was starting, last season he was asked to come off the bench. And for J.J. Hickson, that just did not seem to be a good fit.
And getting back to J.J. Hickson, he's forever had the size and strength to get it done. His problems have always been that lack of discipline and an unrefined set of tools. I mean, unfortunately, last season highlighted those flaws.
And he can't hit the second.
Talking about Hickson, every time you count him out, he surprises you with a streak of inspired play. Then every time you count him back in, he puts up a dud. Hard guy to figure out right now.
Here's Roberson. Back to Westbrook. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Tried to bank it in, but he misses.
Well, I think he had all the space he needed. He just couldn't find the bottom of the net.
Chandler goes in. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City and going against Denver, their first meeting of the season.
Yeah, and they took care of business against this group last year, winning the season series.
Yeah, Greg, you're right. They're the better team. I mean, they expect to win this matchup. We'll see if they can take care of business tonight.
And he is really in a zone right now, playing and scoring with confidence.
Moutier dishes to Chandler. A minute 50 left to play in the first quarter. And pushing it up here. Here is Oklahoma City.
And I like how he puts himself in position there to finish on the break.
Yeah, you know, that's what we call seeing and feeling the game. Excellent read of how that play was going to develop and where the ball was going. That's stuff that you oftentimes can't teach, Greg.
Robertson can't hit. The Nuggets trail by 7. Ball stolen. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket. And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for Oklahoma City.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
And also defensively, they've been able to cause some turnovers tonight, and that also builds confidence and gives you momentum.
Well, it was a season last year of heartbreak and change for the Thunder, narrowly missing the playoffs as the Pelicans beat them out for that 8th position.
Yeah, and they were teetering back and forth on that 8th spot for most of the year. Ultimately, they just couldn't hold on to that final playoff spot.
Well, let's look back to last year's Nuggets while we've got a moment here, Kevin. 4th and second chance points, 7th in rebounding. And also, they were in the top 10 when it came to fast break points. I mean, they weren't afraid to play the game at a fast pace and run a little bit.
And just go revisit those numbers in terms of second chance points. That was elite, and they weren't shy about sticking their nose in there and going after the ball.
Looking at who's out there now for the Thunder. Cantor, he checked in for Adams. Collison comes in for Serge Ibaka. Waiters, he's checked in for Andre Robertson. And DJ Augustine subbed in for Russell Westbrook. Out of bounds, Oklahoma City takes possession.
Guys, for the Thunder, that playoff miss was the first time they didn't make the postseason since their first year in Oklahoma. Fans had really been spoiled with how successful the Thunder have been of late.
Now here is Augustine. There's a good screen. He feeds it to Cantor. Shot clock at 6. Outside for Durant. The shot's good. Collison making the play. 7 points for Kevin Durant.
And the Western playoffs just, it seemed a bit amiss without having the Thunder involved. Westbrook, I tell you what, he did everything he could to try and carry that injured group into the postseason last year, but it just wasn't to be.
And Denver has possession following the 3 from Kevin Durant. Nelson with it, picked up by Collison. And he gets the bucket. Nelson's got his first basket of the night. There's 18 seconds left to play here in the first. And here's Augustine. There's a screen by Cantor. Outside Durant. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Yeah, the defender all over him.
Greg, he got him good there. I mean, that's why the shot was so far off.
The Thunder shooting their first free throws. First trip to the line in this one.
And a season ago, they hit about 75% of their free throws.
Okay, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
The first free throw is good. Durant hits them both. Nelson. No luck. And as the first quarter wraps up, already a double-digit lead. Thunder lead by 12. We've got more in store for you right after this. Kevin Durant, former MVP, still feels like he has room to grow, and he gives us some insight into that philosophy.
I think it's another level I can go to. You know, always can be better. That's how I look at things. Teammates need me more than ever now. Coaches need more from me, so I got to dig deep and see where I can find it from.
Well, the will seems to be there, Greg, but Kevin Durant seems surrounded by uncertainty. Can he get that and stay healthy for the entire season? How does he work with his new coach? Where does he really want to be?
You know, the truth is, no one but Kevin knows the answers to those questions. And quite frankly, he may not know right now what those answers are. He's a very unique and introspective kind of guy, as we all saw when he accepted that MVP award a couple years ago. So let's just stay tuned on this one.
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And a very convincing performance from the Thunder so far.
They come out the gates here strong and put together just a solid first quarter.
A ton of good looks for him, Greg, on offense, and it's quality shots they're getting.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. So the Thunder 5 right now. Inside, you've got Ibaka and Kanter. DJ Augustin out there with Dion Waiters. And it's Singler in at the small forward position.
Really was a slow start for Gallinari last season. Took him a while to get back to speed after missing all of the 2013-14 season with that torn ACL.
That free throw good from Gallinari. Gallinari did get better and better over time. I mean, he improved. He started to get back to his former self near the end of the season.
Yeah, had that huge 47-point explosion towards the end of last season. And listen, he's still a young guy and hopefully can continue to build after his injury woes.
Gallinari hits them both.
You know, the Nuggets could create their offense, but they still would have trouble knocking down the shots. Just didn't have a lot of dead-eye laser shooters. Every field goal attempt with them was an adventure.
Now here is Singler. And Kenneth Faried pulls it down.
The crossover worked to perfection. The shot, and not so much.
Good. Moutier's got his first 2 points.
And really just unselfish basketball on the interior. That's the kind of pass a coach loves to see.
Nuggets did have their problems on the offensive end, too. Something that's rare for them, hitting the open shot in the mid-range shot and beyond being one of them.
You know, Kevin, how about being last in the league in catch and shoot field goal percentage? I mean, got a good amount of looks that way, but really struggled shooting only 34% in those situations.
And it's blocked. And we're a little over a minute and a half into the second quarter of action. Westbrook kicks to Ibaka. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. And the Thunder lead by 13.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
A lot of ferocious dunkers in the NBA, but what could you say about Westbrook as maybe the top dunker right now on that list.
Well, the ferocity, the tenacity. I mean, he's almost angry when he takes it to the basket the way he does. I think that's part of what makes him so special. Well, let's take a look at how Oklahoma City ranked in the league last year. First in rebounding, first in second chance points, and they were one of the NBA's top 5 up-tempo teams. I mean, their pace of play really brisk. Only a few squads scored more on the fast break than they did.
And you touched on their rebounding, just prolific in that area. Tremendous energy and physicality when attacking the glass.
Adams, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. Roberson comes in for Waiters, and it's blocked by Adams. 2 minutes now played in the second quarter. Roberson, the pass to Ibaka. Adams dishes to Roberson. Back to Adams. Played in with a nice touch off the glass.
And you know, with Westbrook, it fits right in with how he plays. I mean, he is relentless when he goes at the rim and takes out any contact he felt on the way to get there.
Now here's Chandler. Really struggled in the loss against Minnesota. And Hickson throws it down.
His eyes just simply light up when he gets that close to the bucket, and you just know what he's going to do with the basketball.
Ibaka sets the pick for Westbrook. The pass to Singler. And the 3 off target.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Moutier kicks to Chandler. Pass to Fareed. All alone. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
Wow, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
Well, let's take a look at last year's top scorers. Russell Westbrook, #1.
And he's not going to forget that season anytime soon. And it's safe to say neither will anyone who watched it.
Nick Collison's checked in for Oklahoma City. Durant comes in for Kyle Singler. And Denver also making a switch. Will Barton, he's checked in for Randy Foye. And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed in the second quarter of play. Outside Westbrook to the left side wing. Here's Roberson. And again, no good by Oklahoma City. Well, perhaps one of the most intriguing draft picks of this past summer, Emmanuel Mudiay, can be a game-changing player. Was going to play, Clark, as you recall, at SMU for Larry Brown.
He sure was, and went overseas instead. So we don't know a ton about him other than his reputation is sterling. Now we'll see if he can live up to it. You know, when I think of Wilson Chandler, what comes to mind is supreme athleticism. He can throw it down with the best of them, and yet he's still working on the other areas of his game to be more well-rounded.
You know, back to Wilson Chandler, he's somewhat of a wild card. One of the few guys to go overseas. You remember, Greg, during that NBA lockout in 2011, he signed to play for China and didn't negotiate an out clause when he signed.
Yeah, and truth is, Chandler's one of those guys who can give you some solid minutes, but you hope at some point that he gets serious and commits to reaching his full potential.
And the Thunder making a change here. Augustine's checked in. And then for Denver, Joey Dorsey's checked in for Hickson. Laverne comes in for Kenneth Faried. And Nelson is subbed in for Moutier. Well, you look back on the Thunder last season, and the theme was injuries. Too many injuries to the bulk of their core.
And, you know, the big three, Durant, Westbrook, and Ibaka, all missed significant time. Only Westbrook of those three was able to finish the season.
And so here's Denver. The Thunder making the shot. Laverne passes to Barton. Chandler a screen. Barton dishes to Laverne. 6 to shoot. Off the pick. That one wide left.
And listen, those injuries really did the Thunder in. I mean, at no time during the season did they ever really get a chance to gel and play any stretch of games with their entire roster.
Now here's Westbrook. A 14-point game for him in the win against the Magic in Orlando.
Yeah, but Kevin, a lot of those points came at the line. I mean, he was aggressive to attack the D, not settling, and really did a good job of cashing in on those free throws.
Here's Barton. A 3-ball. That'll do it for the first half. Oklahoma City out in front, up 11. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Well, Jameer, what kind of adjustments are you guys looking to execute when you come back out for the second half?
We have to execute our defensive scheme a little better and a lot harder. You know they're going to make some runs, they're going to make shots, but at the same time, we have to make it tough on them when they're passing the ball.
Jameer, thank you. Guys, sometimes it's not about what you do, but how you do it.
All right, Doris, thank you, and stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And hello again. We have amped up home crowd joining us for our halftime report. Ernie Johnson with the illustrious Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. A tremendous start for Kevin Durant. He had 9 points, 2 steals, and 2 rebounds. Shaq, your thoughts on the Thunder?
Well, Ernie, Kenny, the offense was running really well. And their shooting percentage was outstanding, and it wasn't just luck. It's because the offense never allowed the opposing defenders to get comfortable.
And over to Kenny. What did you think about Denver?
Too much of their offense was perimeter-based. To be successful in this league, you have to score in the paint. Now, that doesn't mean you have to run your offense through the low post, but you've got to send guys to the baskets on pick and rolls, dribble drives, whatever, to create high percentage opportunities you can win with.
Just about time for the third quarter to get underway, and we'll see you again at the Horn.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game.
What a performance from Durant here. He has 9 points, and he's come away with 2 steals as well. He's blown up some plays out there.
And it also shows you the importance of intelligence as a defender because he has been a nightmare on the ball.
The Nuggets trail by 11. So out there for the Nuggets right now, Chandler and Faried are at the forward spots. Foyle is out there with Moutier, and it's Hickson in at the center filling out the middle. Steps back and fires. Bounces high off the rim and drops. And it's 7 points for Wilson Chandler.
How good is that? I mean, he can make a defender look foolish at times.
Maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
Yeah, and when he's got a lead like that, why not take a few chances? A lot more engaging and entertaining than just doing the old ho-hum one-hander. Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
And Adams kicks to Durant. Left side, Westbrook. Shot is off. Now Denver takes it the other way.
And who could forget the tear that Westbrook went on last season? I mean, after the All-Star break, it was just triple-double after triple-double for him.
Now here's Moutier. Goes up the baseline. Here's Hickson. Here's Fareed. And it's blocked by Adams. And now a fast break for the Thunder. Westbrook with a wide open look. Nice shot from the wing. Westbrook's got 9 points. Greg, for Westbrook, as you were talking about him, the triple-double stretch included 4 in a row. He had 6 triple-doubles, Clark, in 8 games. He was sensational.
Yeah, it really was, Kevin. And what's even more amazing was that he was very close to a triple-double, even on the nights he didn't get one. Man, he's a guy who showed you what it means to carry a team.
Tanking is something that all teams that are out of it tend to do. I hate that word, Clark, but it seems to be the one used by a lot. Nuggets didn't really try to hide it last season either.
Well, you know, it certainly looked that way. Right around March, they just started sitting key players for no real reason. They framed it as rest, but it didn't quite look that way.
While we have the time, let's take a look at last season's best transition teams. The Thunder in 4th.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crowd-pleasing style, right? I mean, this club just got out and ran at every possible chance.
And the Thunder with some changes. Cantor comes in for Steven Adams, and it's Waiters in for Roberson. And Denver also making a switch. Gallinari, he's checked in for Wilson Chandler. Here's Moutier. That one goes. Count it. Moutier's got his 2nd bucket of the game to go.
And guys, for the Nuggets, it seemed to come out of the blue for their players. They all felt fresh, but the press release would say they needed rest. So obviously a bit of miscommunication there.
Gallinari against Durant. Kicks it to Moutier. Hickson, a screen on Ibaka. Foy, the pass to Gallinari. Hickson, a screen. Clock at 6. Gallinari wide open, and count it from 19 feet away.
Okay, that's more like it. A nice job here in the second. I mean, their field goal percentage is way up compared to what they did in the first half, where they shot a very low percentage. It actually was just above 30%.
Now, here is Ibaka. Westbrook, and the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
And, you know, guys, he had a big game at the free throw line in their last outing.
As a matter of fact, a lot of his points came from the stripe. He was feeling it. Guys, I thought he got into a groove last year at the charity stripe, and I thought he maintained it deep into the season as well.
Kyle Singler, he's checked in for Serge Ibaka.
Clearly, it was a disappointing year for the Thunder last season, guys, but they still were very good in the Northwest Division. They finished 2nd behind the Blazers and won 10 of their 16 in-division games.
Hickson dishes to Foy. Back to Hickson. Baseline try, and there's another one for the Nuggets.
Well, after a horrible half of shooting, they've bounced back here in the second half and picked up their shooting percentage quite nicely.
Last season for the Thunder, Greg, the first time since 2010 that they did not win the Northwest.
Yeah, and Kevin, if healthy, you have to think that it's still the Thunder's division to lose going forward. The division only sent one team to the playoffs in a down year for OKC, and it's probably the most wide open division in the West.
Now, here is Foy, following the miss by Russell Westbrook. And it's Foy missing.
Well, one of his issues is he's a player that just does not excel at fighting through contact on his way to the rim.
Here's Waiters. Some solid defense from Fareed.
There was just enough defensive pressure to get him off balance and cause that shot to go awry.
Hickson sets the screen for Moutier. Here's Gallinari. The Thunder pull it in. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. Right side, Westbrook. Lets it go with the 3. Westbrook missing again.
Well, he had 1 3-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs.
Here's Moutier. The stupendous finish in traffic. Moutier's got 6 points.
And that's just a great individual play right through the teeth of the defense.
It's Westbrook with the drive. Pass to Cantor. On the wing, single. Cantor with the screen on Gallinari. Up off the screen. And Cantor with the lay-in. Good.
Really, the defense is helpless to stop a layup right there. Just too much of an advantage in terms of the mismatch.
Singler against Gallinari. Here's Hickson, and the layup's good off the glass. He's got 7.
He's one of the best in the league at that. Even with just a tiny sliver, he always seems to find a way to get it up and in.
There's a screen by Cantor. Westbrook kicks to Cantor. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Westbrook's got 5 assists tonight.
And he's been the catalyst all game long. Love how he's distributing the basketball.
No doubt about it, Greg. I mean, when the offense runs through him, it's really smooth.
Here's Gallinari. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. And we've reached the end of the third. Thunder lead by 8. And coming up as soon as we return from break, the fourth quarter gets underway. Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play should begin momentarily. The Thunder leading by 8. Durant the 3 and Ibaka the 4. PJ Augustine out there with Roberson. And it's Adams in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the lineup out there for the Thunder. Roberson gets the bucket.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Really a prime example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
Here's Barton. Kevin Durant with the rebound.
I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup.
Now here is Augustine. Back to Durant. There's the screen. 6 on the shot clock. Ibaka goes in, and he gets it to go.
And this collapse we've seen by their interior defense, it's really the reason why they struggled and are in such a hole.
Fourth quarter still young, just over a minute play. Here's Barton. The shot by Chandler, wide open. Connects from three-point range.
Most any NBA player can make you pay when you leave them that wide open. That's why you have to stay alert on defense.
Chandler with the steal. First minute and a half of basketball played here in the fourth quarter. Nelson outside. Pass to Laverne. 5 to shoot. And he's off on his first shot of the game. The Thunder leading by 10. Augustine passes to Adams. Here's Ibaka. And the shot's good after hitting off the rim.
That was a beautiful fadeaway. Knocked it down with the defender right in his grill.
Well, Kiwi Steven Adams, one of the toughest players down on the block.
And Kevin Adams is not afraid to get under somebody's skin. He's pretty strong defensively, too.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
During that break, Coach Mike Malone had some words for his team. He told them that they simply have to step up, saying if we don't make a move now, it's going to be too late. Give them everything you've got. Kevin?
The Nuggets trail by 12.
And you know, guys, that's one of the things I like about Adams. I mean, he'll draw the ire of opposing players just because of how he approaches the game.
Now, here is Nelson. They set the pick. He dishes it to Laverne. Lets it go from 11, and it's blocked by Adams. They recover it. Oklahoma City leading by 12. And Roberson kicks to Augustine. And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. Chandler against Augustine. Dishes to Laverne. Chandler outside. Feeds it to Laverne. And that one's good.
Yeah, and guys, Adams doesn't want to be known as a dirty player. I mean, I think he feels he plays aggressive and he hustles, and that sometimes rubs players the wrong way.
Let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Well, over the break, I listened in on Billy Donovan's huddle. He said their plan was run their offense through Kevin Durant. Coach would like to see him utilized in the offense as much as possible. We can expect to see them going to him constantly. He also wants them to concentrate on working as a team at the offensive end. Passing, patience, and teamwork. Those were the messages. Gentlemen, some late game adjustments that could prove crucial in the game's closing moments. Kevin, over to you.
Thanks, Doris.
He's got some serious momentum going right now. He's been great all day. Even last game, he was on fire.
All right, we'll take a look now at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for the Thunder.
They keep piling up the assists, and they haven't cooled off at all.
It's been a hot shooting night for them, too. I mean, they've hit a lot of those mid-range jump shots.
Now, here is Foy. Fareed, right side, misses in close.
Boy, he really bungled that finish.
And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the fourth. He got right to the cup using that screen. 6 points for Enes Kanter.
A great assist. Nice work from Russell Westbrook.
Moutier dishes to Fareed. And that'll be Oklahoma City's ball as it goes out of bounds.
And you know what? His mind's playing tricks on him right now because he's not going to live that one down easily.
Oklahoma City leading by 14.
No question as to which team gave the better effort tonight. A dominant performance and an outstanding win for the Thunder.
Clark, what do you think was the deciding factor in this one?
Simply field goal percentage. They shot the ball much better than the opponent.
And so with this, they'll end up with their second win on the year.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
And it will be a fight, Greg. When you see an opponent that many times, it's inevitable that those games take on a little extra added meaning for the player.
And you have to look back at this and see the huge game it was for Westbrook. He was extremely efficient offensively, got good looks, and really knocked down big shots all game long.
Just 5 to shoot, kept alive. Outside for Durant. There's a screen by Kanter. So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
Well, you know it makes a big difference. I mean, you never felt like they had any doubt that they'd come out on top.
And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Yes, thank you, Kevin. Russell, obviously your ability to attack on offense is such a key for your team. How do you decide when to go to the hoop and when to pass the ball?
I never know, man. I just see how the flow of the game is going. I try to stay in attack mode. That's what my team wants me to do, and I try to continue to do it.
Russell, thank you. Kevin, he does it brilliantly.
All right, Doris, thank you. And that'll wrap it up, folks. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. And coming up next, the postgame show with Ernie Johnson, Shaq, and Kenny the Jet.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we get a chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Russell Westbrook.
When you're facing Westbrook, you're always going to have your hands full. And tonight, he proved that once again. There's only one thought going through Russell's head. Attack, attack, attack. I know that was 3 thoughts, Kenny.
He shot over 50% from the field in the game, a testament to how hard he worked to always find the best look possible. He was in constant motion. He found those gaps in the D and made the most of his open looks.
And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. For Kenny the Jet Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a great night.